Hey guys, fourth video. So I want to go over the quote. So this quote only represents for everything in the back of the house. So in the back of the house, that means all the trees along the left side, everything in the back, and obviously everything down in here. Also along the driveway, the Belgian block. I didn't include the masonry. I gave you a price for it, but I didn't include it. So I'm assuming that I'm not sure if you're going to want us to do it or not. I would say this is it's got to be done in an exact way, because the pitches have to be exactly right, and the space between the stones have to be exactly right. So there's going to actually be a lot of thought that goes into that to make sure that that comes out right. But in the previous video, I did explain how everything needs to be pitched. But everything in this area, it's a kind of a tight area. All has to be lined up properly for it to look right. So we could do this job if you wanted to, and you could just have the pool company just fix what they disturbed and get a credit from them. It's totally up to you. But again, you got to put sod in here, artificial turf, and you could go look at the house. We used the granite. You'll notice I'm suggesting granite because of the heat, and it doesn't hurt your feet. Plus, it doesn't burn out the sod. You could do either way. You could do bluestone if you wanted to as well, but granite might be the better way to go here. Okay, but you could go look at 10 Elmwood Road. Let me just make sure the address is right. Let's see here. Let me just check something. 1 second. Let me just check something. Make sure I'm giving you the right address. Reganato is a customer. Okay, so that's the guy's information. If you want to contact him, his phone number is on there as well. But we did like a $350,000 project for him last year. The only reason I'm telling you the size, we basically did everything on his property from scratch. And it looks pretty awesome right now. So you go there and take a look at it. It does have a lot of these stepping stones kind of intermixed around the property. But he's a super nice person, and then you could look at the granite as well. He went with the granite around his pool for stepping stones. Your style might be slightly different from his, but it's similar in a way. So when you go there, you take a look and go from there. What I was mentioning is, again, I would go with granite, and you have the option whether you want to have this sod, or again, if you want to add the stepping stones back in here. Okay, so let me open up your quote so I can go over that with you. So let's see here, support. Wait a minute, is this the right one? Let me just check something here. Rear of house. Masonry line. This is the wrong one. 1 second, sorry. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, this was the right one. Okay. So for your quote, again, this is only for the rear yard, okay? And I figured I'll go through this with you real quick too, so I could make everything clear when you're reviewing it yourself. But we've got the 5 bigger green giants that would go to block the view, okay? You have the option to install the wall against the fence so that the trees would be 2.5 feet taller. You'll notice that's not included, but you'll see that there is a price there. So you could, add that in if you would like. The shrubs are somewhat straightforward, so everything's in there. Transplanting, a lot of the plants on your property that we transplant into the back are actually from the front. So, for example, all the hydrangea that we have through here and all the spirea going through here were all plants that we were planning on pulling from the front landscape and push them into the back. So the reason I wanted to put the blue hydrangeas here is they don't flower every single year. They probably only flower 50% of the year, so I figured why not reuse them. Okay. So that's just something to point out. I don't have any costing yet for that because I would actually put that as part of like project for the front. I'm assuming you're not going to want to lift up all the plants from the front and have everything barren in the front all summer. So again, just something to point out. So then we got the steps in here. So we got the steps. There's 3 steps. The curbing. Okay, topsoil, fill, sod. You'll notice I gave you what you would save, so you'd have to deduct this off the estimate, $800 savings if you decided to not sod behind this area over here, because this area is still going to have to fix the lawn. All right, so that's an option, but just be aware it's just going to be dirt all summer if you go that route, and you have to seed it in the fall. Okay. I gave you the option if you wanted us to install all of the stepping stones. Okay, it was like $13,410. Okay, that included the topsoil that goes in between it. That has to be done the exact way for it to be successful. So, meaning that you have to put the process stone in first, which is like a gravel, compact that down at roughly a 6-inch layer. Put down all your stepping stones, have them all spaced out equally so that they line up with all the different linear lines that we're trying to get on the design. Okay, so it has to be really well thought out. And then you have to go in with a little tool and scratch after you put the stepping stones in. If you're using granite, which I'm going to try to push you to use, then you'd end up laying that on a dry cement. So it's basically you're mixing cement and sand, laying it down on top of that, pounding it down with a rubber hammer. Okay, then what you'd end up doing is you would mist it with water and the cement would harden. So hence that 1-inch piece of granite becomes a thicker piece that doesn't crack over time. All right, so that's the reason why you do that. And then after that, then you have to scratch out all of the processed or the gravel stone that's in between the joints. Scratch that all the way down, so 6 inches down, and then add topsoil, and then add your sod. So that's the way that would work. Okay. The 2 different drains that are listed on the proposal, those are in there because you don't want to have water sitting there. A lot of guys would say you don't need it, but I can tell you from experience that it's stupid not to put those in. The 2 different lines of Belgian block, which you need just because of the different elevations around your pool. Artificial turf, so that's everything there. And then I had the lighting in here for the backyard, and then the list of costs that are yet to be determined. If you approve this design, then we can come over and we can look and see what it would cost for the irrigation. But without the patio, the cost is around roughly $62,700. If you added the patio back in, then you're about $13,400 plus tax above this cost. So that's it. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.